I was born in Miri, Malaysia, but I've lived in Brunei my whole life. I think it was about when I was 4 or 5. I went to piano class, but I quit the next day because the teacher was a little bit mean and I couldn't stand her anymore. At the time, I think it was when I was 8 or 9, there was a lot of performing arts shows by Disney and Nickelodeon, and in that era, that was the era I grew up in, where everything was circled around music. I have never taken classes for dancing, singing, or anything like that. I'm the type of person to self-learn. I don't like paying money to learn something that I can learn by myself online or just figuring out myself. When I was in about primary 6, I remember being really into K-pop, 2NE1, Big Bang, but because of, well, at the time kids in school, they say stuff. If you're into K-pop, at the time the mindset was really bad and they would have insert homophobic slur. But when I grew up and I started focusing on Blackpink after a while, I got back into K-pop and I realized, hey, as an Asian kid, as a Chinese person, I can find success in this industry too. I don't have to be white to be successful. After graduating, my mom gave me 2 years off from going to school. She gave me a 2-year period to figure out what I want to do, if I can actually make this a career for myself. And I didn't have much. I was in Brunei. The only thing I could do was film covers, post it on social media. In those 2 years, I did a lot of different things, but none of them really worked out. Until 2019, when my life changed.
In June 2019, that's when I first met Jaden. He signed up for our 1-week program to RBW Korea for a trainee experience program. And with the program, I first got to watch his performance video. I remember very well, when I saw his dance video, I was impressed. And he is probably till now the first person that I really acknowledge that he has the passion and also the talent. And most importantly, he has an artist charisma. Because whenever he performs, whether it's singing or dancing, he really turned into another person. And that's where the artist charisma comes, and that's what makes me remember him the most since 2019.
So I was just on Instagram scrolling like always, and I saw a sponsored post. It was for a week of training in Korea by an agency. Yeah, so I signed up. So I knew that companies do a lot of scouting, but for me, where I lived, and also I don't think I'm good looking enough for a company to just pick me up off the street. So I thought a week of training, a week of being able to show my charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, I got this in the bag. Like, they would be able to see how well I can perform and how well I can practice and get along with everyone. Obviously, I wanted the company to see how well I can do and sign me like on the spot. Like, yes, you're so good, we have to have you.
So after that 1-week program, he went back to Brunei and I came back to KL. At the time, I did not have any thought or plan to sign him because my company has not expanded to what we're doing today. So I was just trying to help him as much as I can, because knowing that he can't really go for any sort of vocal class or dance class in Brunei, through online, I try as much as I can to listen to his practice video and give him feedback, give him pointers to help him to still be able to improve. 날 바라봐주던 그 눈빛 내 friendship I know you love her but it's over mate It doesn't matter put the phone away. When I went back to Brunei, it was a lot of I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but I did send a lot of videos back to Carmen to get feedback and have, I guess, an online vocal training type of stuff. I think I got a lot of like advice on how to sing, because I was doing a lot of impersonating, which is what a lot of beginning artists do. They copy how other artists sing, and the advice I got was good advice. So then I figured out how to actually sing with my own voice. I went back to Brunei in June 2019, and for the 2 months I was just doing my own practice until August of 2019, when I came across my big opportunity. He came over in August 2019 and he joined the audition, and throughout that period of time, what I had in mind was just to help him to pass the audition and hope that he can get signed as a trainee and eventually debut as an artist, because I really think that he deserves to be an artist. That's his passion, and I can really see that he has the talent for it. So in August 2019, I came to KL for an audition and I passed the first round, and I went to China for a second selection and I passed that too. So then I got signed, and then I went into proper training. And I was about to go on a reality show, like competition show, until COVID hit. So then I had no choice but to go back to Brunei, and I was just waiting aimlessly. And when the pandemic hit, we were all stuck at home, and most of the time we were on social media. So I just came across Jaden's Instagram and got to know that he has been stuck in Brunei for quite some time. And that got me quite curious as to like what is he up to, what's his progress, whether he has any plan or the company has any plan for him to move forward. So I reached out to him, just wanting to catch up and knowing what's the update. And that's where I got to know that he can't really do anything. And after that, we continued to keep in touch for the next 1 month or so, until the point where he asked whether he could come over to KL, because he really needs a place where he can focus on practicing his vocal and dance. So I think it was around August 2021, I got reconnected with Carmen again, and I knew she had the resources and like the place for me to practice. So I came to KL with an open mind, kind of like I was going to college. I don't have that experience. So I thought a place to practice for me to learn and grow would be a really good experience for me, while still having a social life in the city. So that's when he came over, and we start to be able to see each other more and really start thinking about, what can I really do now? Because after some time, my company has expanded, and now we really have the resources to do something, and that's how it all started. At first, I had little intention of actually growing my career here, because I was still in a push and pull situation with my previous company. But I do think the universe has your path planned out for you. In the first few months, I was feeling a little bit lost. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. My previous company was still just not replying to anything I was saying.
I had no news. So yeah, it was years of working really hard and not seeing results. So I was really lost.
So after Jaden came to KL, he will come to Teenage for his own practice every week. And seeing that he still has this much commitment and passion for music, even though he wasn't really sure what's gonna happen next, that really touched me. So for me, I made it a point that I will see him every week, at least once a week, and to help him work on his vocal, songwriting, and stage performance, because I understand how hard it is to try to work things out on your own. So I just do what I can to help him improve, and at least he can feel that he is still on track and there is a support system around him. At the same time, I also introduced him to our other music incubator members, and that this is a community where we can support each other.
The first time I saw Jaden was at our internal showcase, and he was the one who brought the most props to us. It was quite a challenge as a team to help him set up for the performance.
To me, Jaden's performing skills impressed me a lot. At first when I met him, I felt that he's a person who is very shy, and I felt that he's a good boy kind of person. But when I saw him performing, it was a totally big difference. There's a very big contrast in it. That's the first thing.
When I heard about his past background, he had quite a lot of opportunities to make it out there, but he didn't. And we share this similarity because I had some opportunities as well to make it through, but it didn't happen. It was so close to happening, but it didn't. So regardless of all these past backgrounds, we still have the determination and passion to make it in music, and that's what really impressed me about him, and that's what drives me to continue on this journey as well.
So all along, I thought I was okay with just being a puppet in the industry. I would just do whatever the company wanted me to do. I was a performer, pull my strings, I don't care. But then after working with Carmen, I realized, no, I wanted my own story, my ideas, my experiments into the project I released. Like, I want my music to be me, authentically me. And I realize now that that is important to me.
When I first saw Jaden, he gave me the impression of he's a very calm, quiet and introverted person. But when he shared with me his stories, I find that he has very unique taste in music that has shaped his personality. When it comes to having meetings and discussions with him, he would have ideas, and that's what sparked even more ideas in us, in me. So he's actually a very creative person. It may be hard to get what he wants at first, but that's a good thing because we will then know that it's really what he wants. So we'll work hard to what he wants and what we can achieve, and then from there we'll bring our music to you.
I remembered he performed Jealousy, Jealousy by Olivia Rodrigo. I was at the backstage looking at him. He was there performing, and I really felt that jealousy kind of feel from the song. He actually sang the song in a way that you would really feel that kind of feeling that he wants to express. To me, it's not easy as an artist to actually get what the song is about so that the audience can really get it. Yeah, so to me, Jealousy, Jealousy is a song that it's most memorable to me.
He's a really good singer, I would say. There are some times when he surprises me with ad-libs and I'm like, oh, okay. From there, I had even more ideas for him to do, and that's amazing.
As I've said before in the very beginning, The first time I saw him, I was already impressed by him. He really caught my attention with his vocal, with his dance skill, even though he was self-taught. And most importantly, he really has the passion, and it shows whenever he performs, whenever he sings and dance. And that is really, to me, a strong characteristic for an artist.
So back then, I would listen to music and I would not care about anything else other than how it sounds and how the melody feels to me. But after starting writing my own music, I started caring more about the songwriting, what goes into the production of it all. And I can only hope that my listeners can relate to my story, can feel shocked, surprised with like the elements I put into the music, and just be interested in the project I put out.
So for the both of us, we really just want to do the music that we believe in, that represents us. And when you guys listen to the music, you can also resonate with us. So just look forward to what we're going to put out next.